This is Commander Zeus. Global Peace Project, brought to you proudly by the acim Corporation, proud makers of the redox molecule. They didn't really make it, they discovered it, meaning they discovered a way to transport it. They always knew about it, they just didn't know how to transport it and actually create it where you could actually use it independently without having like a multi-million-dollar machine. And do a little bit of Course in Miracles again today. I thought I would talk about some things that I'd come into understanding. One being, as a child of a living God, which we all are, what is it that you think you deserve? I know for myself, I had what would be called a lack mentality. And in this lack mentality, I restricted myself from a few things. But mindfulness it was just a matter of learning some things, about myself, about who God is and who I am to Him and to myself, and had to come to a little more of a clarion call on self, because if you don't understand who you are, right? And I don't think that's something new, because I've seen the question being asked by many people. Not that I really asked myself the question until it became painful enough to say, you know what, this is a bunch of bullshit. This is bullshit. What's going on? Supposed to be fighting people? What the fuck? What about cooperation? I think the true liberation of the planet is going to be cooperation. For any Bible scholars, if you actually remember in book of Genesis, I believe the only time that God ever says in that Bible it scared him, or God's, a lot of people's interpretations, but it was when man was working together. And I think today, and especially with quantum grammar and all the languages of the planet have really been put together in communication, we can talk, and we can come to understandings, and we can come to peace, and we can allow people to live their lives the way they want to, knowing that there's no shortage of anything. I mean, it's an abundant supply of everything. There's more than enough land. There's more than enough stuff. And I don't know where it was inside of me that I was taught that there was some form of exchange. If I got, you went without. But the truth is, there's more than enough, because I can have and so can you. And I don't need to stockpile stuff. I just need to live, right? And that's an interesting way of thinking, and always being at peace with self. Because you know what? If we all work together, there ain't nothing we can't do. Come on, mate. There ain't nothing we can't do. Think about it. Oh my gosh. Society in its own way of running, it is a miracle in itself. It is a miracle in itself that society even functions, especially here in America, guys. I'm telling you, there's so many different thoughts, but yet we have these constrictors that allow people sovereign energies to filter in and then export a delivery that fulfills the need for somebody, right? So what are we looking at today? I believe so. We're on lesson 283. 283, as they say in Australia. I'm going to turn on the light real quick. I don't need to wear glasses or anything like that. Oh yeah, I got some skivvies on, mate. I've got my pants on. Today is the day of your amazing good fortune. Today is the day my amazing good cheer, right? And so we come before you, and I'd like to at least say a prayer right now and just say, Lord, whatever it is that we're supposed to learn right now, help each one of us take it in the most convenient and less painful way if there's any pain in response to it, because there doesn't have to be pain. Let us learn and love and move from love to love. Father, I just thank you for your joy, and I thank you for your peace. So we're looking at lesson 283. And sometimes just to relax, you just breathe. My true identity abides in you is the way it says. Now, I don't mean to chop up words or anything like that, but let me first give my commentary on that so that we're under a complete understanding. I don't believe in any duality, right? So the word itself, and maybe that's why I've been kind of like challenged to actually read it, just for the fact that, you know, it does, and sometimes in some language in the book, it talks of duality, but it's really talking of oneness. So abides in you, me abides in you, is talking about something outside, but as within, so without, right? So as I feel and see and vibrate inside on the outside world, I'll see a representation of, right? So my true identity abides in you. And so if I'm looking at you and I think to myself, you, right? You. Who are you? And so in the mirror, and now I'm thinking about it, and I'm seeing it, and I'm thinking, well, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So that's how I see God. Now, always looking in the mirror, you always see you, right? I'm always seeing me, right? And so when I look at me, who am I seeing? Well, I'm seeing God. I'm seeing you, right? And it's interesting, when I was actually working with a mirror, I took a big piece of paper, and I put something in the center of the piece of paper so it couldn't be shine on the actual mirror. And I looked on the other side of the piece of paper in the mirror, and you could see the object. That was pretty freaky, right? If there's no way it can actually reflect on there, yet you see it still in the mirror, now it becomes total coordination of mind. I believe that they do have some interesting mental aspects. So you could say, well, the brain's doing this, and this, so you see it on the other side, right? But if you see it on the other side, it becomes a reality, and therefore, as you think it to be true, so it is. And there's multiple dimensions. You got superposition. Superposition being, you know, everything you see is in 60, 70,000 places at the same time. Now, this is information that just is kind of mind-boggling, and then also the quantum entanglement, where something could be trillions of light years apart, and if one aspect of itself that is attached to trillion miles away shifts, it shifts too instantaneously. Now that right there, space and time, is no longer separate. and yet it appears to be to the mind. You know. This shit kicks you in the ass, says Celsius. And from what I remember, it doesn't have the poop in it, meaning they don't use the green slag that comes off of the, what's it called, the sewage plant. That green slag, they break that down to some vitamin B12 that's inside a couple of these products that are out there. It's interesting, isn't it? So now let's go back to what I was reading here. It says, Father, I made an image of myself, and it is this I called Son of God. Yet, that is creation as it always was. Yeah, yet is creation as it always was, for your creation is unchangeable. Now, this is interesting, and this is only from my own perspective, of course, but this is why I'm doing the course too, is that I can put my perspective in there. In perfect nature, and I believe the velocity and the veracity of this book being in perfect love and perfect peace, that the writers of it had no ability to actually write down what was truly necessary, because this is just a book that was written by men. Never does it comply on there and says that it was God-given or anything like that. It's just stating it was an instruction book. And it's been based off a psychological basis, because the woman who did put it together was a fantastic woman that wanted truly to help people. That was her main goal. And then in the benefit of it, found the certainty of the fact that we are but spirits and that we are but God, and then became a direct conduit to source energy to come up with some of the stuff. But then in the same token, you can't see what you've never seen, right? And the way this was written kind of implies to me that God's way never changes, but this is not true, because in creation, you're either creating or you're dying. And God is not dying, friend. He's always creating, He's always moving, He's always love. And it's always getting better as we continue to expand. It's never done. You're never done. You're always creating. You're always expanding. You're always growing. We're never done. Energy cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. It's never done, baby. You're on this ride. And I think they had that one song, we're on a road to nowhere. Well, to nowhere, I would say, is a man without a vision. And a man without a vision, now he does exterminate himself within the field of energy. You're either growing or you're dying. Age is but a program, and you can step out anytime you want when you're done growing. I think Kevin Trudeau said it in the teaching. Which was it? You can get what your wish is your command. And he said, you've got to care, but not that much. Meaning, your life, you are the center of your life. And everything you create within it, you're part of that circle, baby. And everything you've created is part of that circle, too. You owe it to yourself, and so to care, but not that much. You just do your best. Forget the rest. Anyway, This is going to be a long one if I keep on doing it. So I don't believe in duality, and I believe in the way this is written is we're creating and we're always creating. We're the God essence, right? And so I'm going to end up rewriting the book, right? Maybe do an updated version, mate. You know? Need the lights. I need the light, Father. I am He, my Father loves. That was such a beautiful thing. I am He the Father loves. God loves me. He loves me so much. I've never even loved that hard, and I truly would love the experience of that type of bliss with God holds, and the true bliss nature of life for people, places, and I try my best to, I do my best into setting a frequency, getting into that bliss frequency. Just talking about it, I can actually get into it, which is kind of cool. Anyway, so now are we one in shared identity with God, our Father, as our only source, and everything created part of us. So, I mean, and there it talks about it, because in epigenetics, it talks about the human being, who you are. The atoms are created inside of you, and then you express them out into the universe and create more atoms like. How powerful are you? How powerful are you? You get your mind focused. Focus. Hocus, pocus, focus. Right? So, and we're down here. And so, we offer blessing to all things, unitingly, lovingly, with all the world, which our forgiveness has made one with us. And this is the key to forgiveness, because everything is alive and everything is a created image by you as the being, as the God source being. They say epigenetics, and this is science. This is no Bible, no book, or anything like that. Well, the book it is called The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton. And he was the stem cell scientist who had led the genome effect back in the 80s to find the God particle, and they found it was the atom. And the atom, over their study and their course, is created by the human being in the center of us and expels out of us 200 million cells a day. And the cell has 7.5 billion atoms to the power of 10. Now, I've heard various different voltage aspects per cell, but the atom itself is measured out as 1.4 kilohertz of electricity, and there's 7.5 billion atoms to the power of 10 in every cell, and you have, 50, 60 trillion cells in your body. You can voltage it up to, like 700 trillion volts of electricity per second is what you put out to create the world that you live in. So when I did a study on the clouds, I was like, average weight of a cloud, and the first time I heard it, I was like, well, I don't know. It's floating over my head. It can't be too damn heavy, right? But its average weight is 250,000 pounds, water weight. Floats right over my head. I don't even weigh 300 pounds. I do not float around. Why? Because I didn't think so. And so, does that mean when I think so, I'm going to? You know what? I would love to see it. And I'd love to see people floating around. Because you know what? Once you see one person floating around, good chance you're going to be floating around too, because you're going to learn how to do it too. Wouldn't that be so cool? Yeah. Anyway, if you really appreciate these videos and stuff like that, would you share them with your friends? possibly give me a like. Love it. Give me a heart. And share it with your friends. I mean, the only way we can actually heal each other is by sharing with each other. And if you'd like to donate to the Global Peace Project, it's money sign Global Peace Project. That's the Cash App. And then we also have a PayPal account, but I don't really know the address to it. I'll have to talk about that later. Also, if you're wanting to grab hold of the most advanced technology, now remember, less than 1% of the planet know about this product. It's less than 20, 25 years into the mix. And it's normally about a 20-year, 25-year really flip around, kind of like when I went to the doctor's conference on this in Texas, they showed this little graph that shows how something goes viral, and they were saying, okay, when penicillin was invented, it had to go through this scale of acceptance before it became boom, and redox molecules in the same place. And these guys here have all the active patents that says this is our product, and people are going to have to pay them in order to use the product. If we could get enough money and then make it free, that would be fantastic, That would be my idea. But you know what? I don't know what to do in regards to that. Someone may want to send me enough money to where I can actually make it free for a bunch of people, especially some of the people that are drunks and stuff like that are trying to get better. This stuff works. Redox molecule works. Helps them heal internally, lets the body heal itself. The redox doesn't do shit, really. It just helps the body communicate. It restores a natural communication between the inner self with the outer self. And that's why they have two products, the Renew 28 and the Redox formula, which is the drink, right? And they sell them in these pouches and also the blue bottle, and you just basically put it in your mouth. That's good. I'm used to it now. It did taste a little bit like pool water, but it's not. It's salt water. Anyway, so the redox molecule, it helps with communication, it helps with your brain function, it helps because it's just the electrical signal that the actual body is sending to the parts of your body for the communication of. So it's just an equalizer, or maybe call it a supercharger. It's a supercharger. Angel says, may we pray. May we pray. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Well, let it be, mate. And I just wish everybody a most beautiful day today, and may you continue to address whatever needs to be addressed in your life, and then love and be the highest version of yourself. And remember, today is the day of your amazing and good fortune. I hope that everybody got some type of message out of this. Blessings to you. I'm about to address some things myself in my world. Have a great day.